I was on my way into Northfield today, and I did a video, talked about Hecatee. My God. Hecatee winning last night, new lifetime mark. I thought he raced good. I'd talked to Mike. I have to sit down probably when I get to the meadows to go race in the pouring rain and mud, by the way. I'll sit down for a minute. I want to go through the entire list of all the horses in the U.S., in Ohio more particularly. I want to send the blacksmith some notes. I want to send the vet some notes. Top of the list was, hey, just have a look at Hecatee's back, his stifles. He felt a little swimmy behind. Maybe that's a term that's a little unfamiliar. You guys are a little unfamiliar with. So just didn't feel fluid last night. Now that all could be, there was some heat in his left front foot yesterday morning into the afternoon. We tubbed him, Cindy tubbed him, sweated his feet, then we iodined him before he went to warm up. So it could have been just his feet were a little pinchy and that he was taking a little additional weight, as a driver. You guys can't see it when I tell you guys that horses are taking weight. So if they're not 100% square up front, if they are a little sore from their feet or from their knees or from anywhere in their front end, the only place that they can load that weight, to perform is on their hind end. So you get a tight back, sore stifles, lower hock joints get sore, things of that nature. Those are all what we call secondary issues. So as I'm watching Hecatee post-parade warm up first off, then post-parade, I say to myself, feels a little swimmy behind, a little out of kilter. But in the race, that horse, he hasn't made a ton of money, and he hasn't won stake races or anything like that, but he's showing some real poise. Last night he could have been a good second. He could have been a good second. Instead, he was a pretty good winner in a new lifetime mark. And yeah, he had some things go his way. That's racing. Can't always have bad luck. A horse that a two-hole made a break and virtually gave us the race. Horse coming at the quarter pole, forced the hand of Kurt Sugg a little bit on the front end. So yeah, we had some luck last night, but the horse had to take the bull by the horn still and get the job done. And he did. So very, very happy with Stonebridge Hecatee last night, Hecatee last night. And as I was on my way in, I wanted to talk about the horses that we were training. I hadn't trained them yet. So there was that to do also. So the video that I ended up making was kind of useless, really. Whereas this one will be much more informative. We trained 9 horses. The rain, it still rained for a bit and stopped. It's still 10 after 12, and it still hasn't poured here in Northfield. It doesn't really matter. The forecast can't be that wrong. It's supposed to be an absolute monsoon at the meadows. So I expect I'll be racing HP Maestro in a swamp this afternoon, which is, as you know, not my favorite track to race on. Heading over there today, but this morning we had, 5, 9, 10 horses. I trained 10, I trained 6. We trained 10. We trained the 5 3-year-olds together. I wanted to get a look at all of them, but I wanted to make sure we beat the rain, so I really had to condense all the horses. So it was High Enterprise, Columbus, Austral Hanover, Oh My Gosh, and Full Heart. I can tell you who the favorite in that field was, and I went with him. So, Oh My Gosh, I had Jason go with. I got a real good look at him. He looked better. Right line a little bit, but did his work well. We trained a mile and a half, a pretty decent last half. I'll tell you a horse that, for all the scavengers out there that were picking up those shares of Full Heart, you may be rewarded. A long way to the track, and there's still a lot of work to be done, but she looked good today. Now, obviously, I got away last with Austral Hanover and swept the field coming out of the turn, but I did just get by Full Heart at the wire, and Columbus was still very much strong on the inside. All 3 of those trained very good. Oh My Gosh was right behind me, as was High Enterprise. Truthfully speaking, I can't fault any of those horses today. Not any of those 5. They all train good. I think Austral Hanover, we have to continue to put him on EPM medication. We did all last year. He was on TD Paster, Totozerol, Diclozerol, generic mix. generic mix. So it'd be similar to Baycox. Not the same as Baycox at all, but it's usually what we generally use over here. The vets over here have it compounded and it works pretty good. So we've had, and it's, as you can imagine, like most compounded medications, it's affordable. So Austral Hanover will be put back on that. He just also felt a little, as I categorized, Hecatee, a little swimmy behind. He'd made a break on Jason, both Jasons, last week, I believe. Definitely on Jason McGinnis with no hobbles on. And then I think Jason Merriman said he was pacey. I didn't find him that way today. I found him good. But as I said to Cindy, he's still tons of time for this guy. There's no rush with this guy. Blisters, knees, hocks, and stifles. Make sure you work hard on his back. Those secondary areas that we talked about. Put a blanket on him overnight. Maybe something a little warmer, even on a warm day like yesterday and today. And then we'll begin Baycox. I say Baycox is not technically the medication. We'll be treating him for EPM over the next few weeks. But happy with him. Happy with that entire group. All 5 of those horses looked pretty good. High Enterprise was making a noise. She did that last year a bit too. She also was a horse that was on the TD pace quite a bit. Columbus was very strong. Oh my gosh, was good in behind us. I was happy with him. And then Full Heart, really the surprise of the day was Full Heart. First over, grind, right up in Columbus's grill, and I just kind of swept by them at the wire, but I didn't just snap right around them. They were both trotting very good. So the set of 3-year-olds that were canceled yesterday, that were drawn out today, so to speak, trained very, very good. Happy with them. Now I went with 5 babies. I went with Did Not Know, I believe is the filly's name. That's the Always Be Mickey filly of Schaefer Farms. That was in the barn. We had the OCDs removed. Nice gait, a lot of work. Really rusty looking green filly. 1, definitely get the corks off her. 2, get the flip-flops off her up front. 3, almost maybe put in. I don't want to go to an egg bar because I'm not certain that she's more than manageable behind. So the egg bars are can be bittersweet sometimes. They may help you out a little bit, but they put a lot more pressure in areas that you may not want for a young filly. So I think we'll opt out of the egg bars for right now and just go to a real stiff leg paint on her knees, hocks, and stifles, and even ankles behind over the next little while. But she did go a mile in 2:51 today. That was her first flat mile of her life. She also, much like Rito's Lady in Ontario, was kind of clappy gated. Really took a while to get gated up, but she did gate up and looked pretty good today. Got a strong gait to her. It's hard to extrapolate from today what she could or might be, but I was happy with what I almost saw, and I was fine with what I did see from Did Not Know today. Now, Vaquero Blue Chip is going to be gelded. 100% he made the list today. He's just being really rotten and rude today. Lots of speed, this colt. But again, that Father Patrick, they're not getting a lot of leeway when it comes to castrations. We had talked about it before. We had castrated a few of the other ones, Memory and Imagination. Very strong family, very expensive colt. But again, his attitude was bad, so we castrated him. Vaquero Blue Chip found his way in dark black ink written on the castration list today. He's fast. I don't think we need to make many changes with him other than a couple of extractions, but he is most definitely going to be castrated tout sweet, as the French say. Lover's Play. Now made a break down the lane, and I've never gone with her, not in a long time. Very strong filly. I didn't really need to go there. The rain was coming. She was standing on the cross ties. I said, she did make a break halfway down the lane. Let me get a look at this filly. And she was really hogging down on her head check, and we had put a birch bit on her, and she didn't like it. So the boys had taken it off her. Well, I overruled them, and it is back on her now, and it will stay there for quite a while. She was just hogging and throwing her head check, just being a stubborn filly. There's nothing wrong with that. But when push came to shove, I put the birch bit back on her and a line pole on the inside. Man, this is a strong, fast filly. Very, very happy with what I saw from Lover's Play today. Widespread Panic. The break yesterday was a combination, most definitely, of the corks. But again, as we speed up, he's touching his knee, and I'll tell you guys this all the time. Horses interfere, and trotters especially interfere in a different way. Usually they'll touch a knee, and they can bump off that knee, and the next stride, because that can interfere their gait, their next stride puts them into that hind shin or hind jack area of the trotters. And that's exactly what Widespread Panic was doing. Trotting the turn's great, but as we come out of the turn into the straightaway, just get out ever so slightly. Remember, I told you when we bought him, very narrow colt. Fast, strong, but narrow. So this could lead to him end up interfering a little bit, and it may or may not. As he gets faster, he may inch out and widen out a little bit. So I talked to the blacksmith a bit today. Flip-flops are coming off him. We're going to shoe him a little bit like we have the Long Tom colt that struck that knee that time. We're going to shoe him a little bit like that, put a little longer shoe on her, and switch him to a half-round, half swedge with no grab behind, no cork at all behind. I think this could widen him out a little bit, and the shoeing change up front could keep him out of that knee. If that's the case, it's full speed ahead with this guy. He is very strong. The only, I think it's a muscle massive trait that can get really strong in the face. White Tiger was like that from day one. Lawmaker could get like that from time to time, and many of the other muscle massives we got, they can get a little lockjaw on them sometimes, get a little strong in the face. So this guy probably snake cord, shoeing changes, full speed ahead. And one of the most impressive horses I saw today, aside from, actually, Lover's Play was the most impressive. Mel Gibson was very good. I actually went a little quicker than I wanted to. 1 mile and 2:29 with him, which is more than enough. He doesn't need to train Saturday now. 100% the corks were biting him a little bit. I don't think there's much of a shoeing change needed. We're going to go from trotting boots behind back to a brace bandage behind, lighten the load a little bit up front, maybe take the bell boots off and switch from a 5/8 to a 9/16, take the 3 corks needed for the winter off, add just a line of borium or 3 tinier corks, maybe even 2 tiny corks on his front toes. Murphy blind inside, he's running in just a little bit. And again, put a real good hot paint on him over the next week or so. Mel Gibson was good. I said to Joey, I said, you're good at putting them to sleep. I'll tell you, it took me 3/8 of a mile to wake him up, but I said, Widespread Panic, Lover's Play, and Mel Gibson, might want to buckle up next time you go on the track with them. They're going to be a little bit sharp, especially Widespread Panic. I said, do not venture out without that snake cord in his face. Those horses were very good today. Now, also, extremely impressed with the way people have picked up all the shares of Yo Mister. I don't particularly like buying horses with additional shares left. When it came to this guy, I just thought that this was a horse we should have. And I had the confidence that our clients are going to pick up the rest of those shares. And as I said, if it really push came to shove, I could borrow the money off somebody to buy the last 20% or something myself. I like the horse a lot. Obviously, this time of year, I have to be careful. We have stake payment season right in front of us. So that's always concerning this time of year to me. But if I had to, like I said, I had options with him. And I thought, given the circumstances with Yo Mister, I just thought he was a great piece of the puzzle for the stable. I did price him at $100,000. We were going to go to $100,000 on this guy, and I thought that maybe I was wrong. But as I said before, it's one of these cases where even if I was wrong, I don't think I was going to be real wrong. There was just so many options for Yo Mister, and so many paths available for him. And then when you even looked at what I would categorize as the exit strategy, it was strong also with this guy. So I had no concerns with purchasing Yo Mister in any way, shape, or form. And I appreciate the people that got involved and the people that are continuing to get involved. I looked after the last set. I wanted to go on and just make mental notes of the horses, and I happened to look, and there was 19 shares of Yo Mister left. Then I went on less than an hour later, and there was 14. So continuing on that path, I suspect he'll be sold out by mid-afternoon. So that is great. Thank you very much to everybody doing that. Now, for the people that did buy them, appreciate if you got those funds in, because I do have to wire them. I have to wire that money to Verlin Yoder tomorrow. So I don't generally tell everybody this, but for the people that send checks, if you want to send me a picture of the check, the front and the back, I can get it deposited. I'm sure my bank's not super thrilled, but I can. And that will take the load off me and off everybody else. So everybody that bought in, thank you very much for doing so. And if you could remit the funds as quickly as possible, I'd appreciate it. For everybody thinking of getting involved, I don't want to sway anybody. I don't want anybody being in an uncomfortable position. I like the horse. I made the case for him. Very happy with him. Zero buyer's remorse. And can't wait to get him back and get him going. I had a wonderful question from somebody a minute ago. Anthony, isn't the Numbers the 6th deadline March 12th? Yes, Bob, it is March 12th. So we're going to go easy with this guy. You may not see him in to go for a couple of weeks. We may school him. We may qualify him. We may race him very well. But his first heavy duty, hard, start for us will definitely be likely in the first leg of that Nominus 6 series. If we race him before that, so be it. But that is what we're focusing on with Yo Mister moving forward. So with that, I'm going to let you go. I'm just at Big D's, and my wife and Amy and a couple of girls at home had asked for a special heel cream that they don't sell in Canada. So I'm going to pick some of the little tubs of that up for them. Head over to the Meadows, race the big colt in the mud. I like the horse. This is how much I like HB Maestro, because I hate the mud. I'm going to go over and race HB Maestro, so good luck to all my partners with him. Atlas Hanover, Dustin Hanover tonight. Just feels like things are starting to move forward again. A great feeling for sure, rain or otherwise. So, I will talk to you soon. Take care. Bring an umbrella if you're going out. It looks like it's raining everywhere on planet Earth right now. Take care.